Rashad, why you didn't
Anyways,
hit me up?
Hey, Rashad.
What's up, Rashad?
Thank you, Rashad.
brother, I love you, brother.
Trump lit.
What's up, Rashad?
Yeah.
What it do, boy?
Hey, Rashad.
Yeah, man, y'all see the title, man. Y'all know what's going on. My first interview with Trae that I remember, like my first kind of like one-on-one with him, I think it might have been his first or second year. And it was a random practice. It was like a Tuesday or something. And so I was able to get him one-on-one, which is very rare because with Trae, it's like every single interview, you have to get him in a scrum because he's so busy. I requested him in one-on-ones before and after, and it wasn't able to happen. And I talked to him about Zion Williamson, ironically. I talked about Zion Williamson. Zion was in college at the time. He was at Duke. And he was the biggest thing in college basketball. He was a sensation. He was compared to LeBron. He was compared to all these greats. And he was the next best thing in basketball. And but this was still like at the end of pre-NIL. So people weren't getting paid still. And so there was this conversation. It was like Zion's on all the commercials and they're networking, and he's probably bringing so much money to Duke right now with these crazy dunks and just a crazy following, fan base, a rock star like following. And he is, hold on, let me see if I can pull it up. Let me see. And you know, he's doing all of these things, but he can't get paid right now. And it was a big thing of like, should he be paid? Should he not? And stuff. And Trae, he tweeted about it. He said, yeah, Zion should be compensated for all of this. Like, what are we doing here? It makes no sense. And Trae, being in Atlanta, I just thought it was a great opportunity to go and talk to him more in depth about that from his perspective as the guy that was kind of in Zion's shoes at the time when he was in his 1 year at Oklahoma. And so you know, like Jelani, shout out to Jelani with the Hawks, who was at the Hawks at the time. Jelani Downing, I believe he's like with Turner now, or he's just doing a lot of stuff. He was working with the DreamCon 1 year, and he was working with them all, right? So anyways, I'm sorry, I'm getting off track. I'm a bit emotional. I'm all over the place. I didn't plan to do this right now. It's just a lot of people are texting me and talking to me about it, so I want to make sure I get some of my thoughts. This is not the initial reaction, but it's like one of my reaction and thoughts and stuff. So Jelani, he's like, he brings Trae over to me, and Trae goes, "What's up, Rashad?" Like he like smiling and daps me up. He said, "My guy," daps me up, and we start the interview. And Trae, his first year as a rookie, he didn't really speak much. People will ask him and say stuff. What's up? People will ask him, and he would just give one word, one sentence, two sentence answers, not much substance in those answers. And I thought it was like a comfort thing, but then I would see him on more relaxed situations like podcasts and things like that, and he still say nothing with other players. And I was like, okay, either he's just not much of a speaker, or he just doesn't know how to speak yet. Like, like they're still teaching him, or he doesn't talk like a lot. So in this interview, though, he really opened up to me, and it was a good interview. I got a lot out of him, and I felt like we really connected in, over just talking about basketball, bro, and famous basketball players, man. We were talking about, no, this is about Trae. I'm talking about Trae, interviewing Trae. We were interviewing, we were talking about Zion in this. That's why I have a picture of Zion up. And so, we really connected. We talked about the Ball brothers. We talked about LaMelo Ball. Talked about the JBA, because I was like, do you think the JBA is the option that kids should go if they want to get paid after high school in this weird area where they're prep superstars, but they aren't quite there yet? And he was like, I mean, shouts out to the Ball family, but I don't know about that yet. And it was just a good talk. It was a good talk. A good story came about it, from it. And that was like the most that we connected, like right then and there. And we've had other moments where I've asked him questions and he's given me in-depth answers. They got longer and longer at the time. And we just had like a lot of a lot of good stories came from the Trae Young era and stuff like that. Like I remember when I was asking Dwayne Wade about him during Dwayne Wade's final game, and he was just talking about Trey, the things he could do and what he could really do for the city and stuff like that. And I just remember writing that story and talking about how Trey kind of is like the most exciting kind of basketball football player the city has had since Michael Vick. To be honest, like of course Julio, shouts out to Julio, but it was really Trey. It's the first guy since Mike Vick that the city was just like, yo, who is this kid shooting from the logo like Steph and making these crazy no look alley oop passes and all these things. Like Trey was really doing it, you know what I'm saying? And throwing up the A and wearing the chains and hanging out with Quavo, like all that stuff in Atlanta matters. And it was just like, oh man, this is going to be something. I interviewed Kevin Herter before that season. Shout out Red Velvet, shout out Kevin Herter. And Kevin Herter was talking about how excited he was for this term of new basketball in Atlanta with Trae Young and with himself and Amari Spellman. Shout out Amari Spellman as well. And how those guys really wanted to bring championships to Atlanta. And Kevin, he knew Kevin knew Ian Anderson. He went to high school and played baseball with Ian Anderson over there. And Ian Anderson was on the Ian Anderson. Who was he on? Ian Anderson was on the Braves at the time. He was in the minor leagues. And I was like, yeah, you guys are going to you guys really represent this new thing, because the Braves had a lot of excitement too with, trading for Dansby Swanson, having Acuna, Albies, Austin Riley, just a lot of young guys that had like the #1 farm system. So it was like this real exciting time in Atlanta for this new blood, this fresh blood that was going to bring championships and all this excitement to Atlanta sports that Atlanta sports hadn't had, Frank, honestly, altogether, like in a long time outside of the Falcons run with Matt Ryan and those guys and stuff like that, finally punching through in 2016 and getting to the Super Bowl. So they had all this excitement. Ian Anderson and the Braves, ironically, end up winning the World Series. And then around the same time, that's when the Hawks made the run to the Eastern Conference Finals. So it was like this story that I did on Ian Anderson and Kevin Herter is like, it's timing up well. The thing with all the talk of it and the hype around Trae Young is living up to the hype, because it was so much, is he going to be a bust or is he going to be a superstar? And there was like no in between. And he ends up being like a star, a superstar. The only thing that was shadowing him was the Luka thing, but even the Luka thing after a while started to go away, and it like nobody was even talking about it when he had them in the conference finals and he was shimmying, and it was just so much, bro. It was so much, man. And we just had so many good stories, bro. We had so many good stories, so many good memories. And I'm really gonna miss Trey in the city of Atlanta. Like, I know it's a business, you know what I'm saying? I know Trey wants his money. I know Trey wants that max. He'll probably get it in Washington, in DC, I'd imagine. Like, that's why he wanted to go up there. He have a chance to run his own team again, no doubt. That's a young group that has things going up there with Trey Johnson and Alex Sarr and the rest of those guys up there in DC. They really have some motion going in terms of like a fresh team and stuff. Yeah, but to answer One Fly Migos thing, this is literally the reason why they did it. Like, they did it to clear cap space to make a run for Anthony Davis. They did it to clear cap space for Anthony Davis. And they're pretty much putting all of their hope and faith into Jalen Johnson right now as the immediate face of the franchise. And then they're banking on the Pelicans pick to materialize into a top 4, top 3 pick to get one of those kids, the Caleb Wilson, the AJ DeBonsta, the Cameron Boozer, and Darren Peterson. And if you don't get those guys, I don't know, man. You just gave them up for no reason. Like, and I understand people's frustrations with Trey, like immediately, like with the defense and this and that, but like, it's that's tough, man. That's tough, man. I ain't gonna lie, it's just tough, bro. Uh It's a tough thing. Culture matters. Things like that matters, bro. And not a lot of people care, but like I said in the other video, like I just understand the Hawks history. Like the Hawks and Hawks fans and the city of Atlanta were longing for a guy like Trae. They finally get him, and and it's over after 7 years, bro. After almost 8 years. So it sucks. I ain't gonna lie. But we made history, bro. I ain't gonna lie. We made history. I got some great stories from Trae. I appreciate Trae for all his cooperation. I appreciate the Young family. His father, Rayford Young, for opening up his story as well and the family story and background of Trae, everything like that to help me out alongside. And the stories that we have on the channel as well. Like Trae has been there, been a part of the channel and been on my channel since 2018, bro. So I appreciate all the time. He's been a consummate professional, and he really loved the city of Atlanta. He landed here like as a kid from Oklahoma. It's like very urban, very black and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So it's a bit of a culture shock for him, but like he learned to love it and he learned the ins and outs of the city, and he really got implanted here. Obviously he has the crib out in LA, but he really was like Atlanta. Showing up to the dream games and showing love and support for Ryan Howard and them. He really was, Atlanta, bro. He really wanted to bring a chip to the city. He wanted to do that and to bring the first championship in franchise history to the city, man. He wanted to do that, or at least since the franchise. I have to say this: since the franchise moved from St. Louis to Atlanta, you know what I mean. So that's how I feel about it, bruh. Those are my first thoughts. I was pretty speechless when I saw it go down. Not a surprise because we heard about it for the past week, so we knew it was coming. But boy, does it still hurt, man. I ain't gonna lie. And it ain't even on some like just fandom stuff. It's more like me, like I just like seeing the city do well. You know what I'm saying? And this was something good for the city, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Like, and people gonna have their complaints, but people have their complaints about everything. Like Dallas fans were complaining about Luka's defense when he's out there. When he got traded, they were still sad about it. They said he was fat and lazy and didn't play defense. When he got traded, they were still sad about it. I'm sure Minnesota fans get mad at Ant for his lack of professionalism, or they call him immature sometimes. He just threw the towel on the bench one time against the Hawks a couple of nights ago. This was New Year's Eve, and stormed into the locker room. They said, "Oh, that immaturity's got to change. He's got to grow up at some point." Pelicans fans in New Orleans, they're fed up with Zion and his lack of professionalism and lack of availability to play and stuff like that. Memphis fans are fed up with Ja Morant for constantly being hurt and injured, from the kind of style of basketball that he plays, and then all the off the court stuff that he was affiliated with and all the jokes that he was getting. And Charlotte fans, same thing with LaMelo. They're upset with him constantly being hurt all the time. Orlando fans are upset at Pio sometimes for not being Wemby. Like he can't help the fact he won't Wemby. He's still a pretty good number 1 draft pick. He's an all-star. He's just not like a Wemby Hall of Famer. I'm probably jealous of Cade Cunningham. You know what I mean? So like every team that has a star, like it always looks better from the outside than probably what it is. Like OKC fans are probably upset right now at OKC for like losing 6 games in the last 11, So all fan bases are upset with their people. I say all this to say nobody's perfect. LA fans definitely upset with the lack of defensive effort that LeBron James and Luka Doncic give. You know what I mean? So and especially DeAndre Ayton, like especially Ayton. So it's like everybody's upset with their people. Nobody's perfect. So you just have to learn, you know what I'm saying, embrace what is there. And when something special is there. And the Hawks had something special in Trae Young, bro. But like I said, if they land in the top 4, all 4 of them boys are special too. I ain't gonna hold you. All 4 of them boys are special, especially Darren Peterson. So if you get Peterson, all the hurt, all the naysayers, all the Trae fans and people who love seeing Trae in the A and having a superstar in the A and having more Hawks jerseys than away jerseys, even against the more popular teams and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Even after all of that, people gonna forget it with Darren Peterson. So that's what it is, bro. We'll see what happens. We'll see if the Hawks use his money that they have now freed up for Anthony Davis. And yeah, and I guess see if they end up the ping pong balls ultimately fall in their favor with the Pelicans and they get in the top 4, top 3, and can draft Darren Peterson. That's right at the guard position. So that's a direct replacement of Trae. If it's not Peterson, AJ DeBonsa is like an alien. He's not human. Cameron Boozer is a beast. He's a monster. He's hungry on the boards. He plays scrappy basketball. He plays hard. He looks like a winner. He looks like he'll do anything to win. And Caleb Wilson is a hometown kid. He's from Atlanta. And the kid has athleticism out the wazoo, but he can also play the basketball. And he's one of those long kind of hybrid, players, specimen that is kind of like a Jalen Johnson. So, you kind of just add to that. That will live up to all the hype that Cam Reddish and DeAndre Hunter had, but they didn't live up to. So, it's all hope is definitely not lost for the Hawks. But I think it isn't wrong to like want to spend some time to reflect on the Trae Young era, what it was and what it wasn't, and just I don't know, reflect and be thankful and kind of. But before you officially turn the page and move on to the next chapter, I think to just be cold about it and be, oh, it doesn't matter, it is what it is, get him out of here, he didn't play defense anyway. Like I think that's a bit, just kind of toned up. Like people weren't there. Like we were just talking about it, like in a group chat. Like the Hawks used to give you free tickets in elementary school if you read a certain amount of books in your reading program at your school. In Metro Atlanta, kids would get free tickets to the Hawks games for reading a certain amount of books. You know how like in schools and regular schools, you get pizza parties if you read books. At the Hawks in Atlanta, you get free Hawks tickets, bro. Like if you was at the Boys and Girls Club and you acted well at the Boys and Girls Club would take you to the Hawks game courtside. Like they had a whole drum line that took up 2 rows in the 300 section because everything was so empty. Like it gets dark when you're talking about the Atlanta Hawks, bro. Like the way that people be talking about the Pelicans now and it's empty and pro basketball just to work there and move the team and all that. That's the way people was talking about the Hawks. So, to go from that to like what it is now to be something that people go to, people are excited about the team, people wear Hawks apparel and Hawks jerseys. Like Trae flipped the value of that franchise upside down by himself. So you know what I'm saying? So that just can't be taken for granted and brushed off because you didn't like the way he didn't play defense like every possession. You know what I'm saying? You have to acknowledge that and appreciate it. I remember when Joe Johnson was traded and I was celebrating it because Joe said we don't need the fans. And then he was overpaid. He was the highest paid player in the NBA. He was maxed out. And I was like, that bum, he didn't get us no championship. We didn't even get to the 3rd round. We didn't even get to the conference finals. And, I was talking to Jamila about it. Shout out Jamila Johnson. Jamila was just like, that's not realistic. Only one team a year wins a championship. And I didn't get it back then. But I grew up and I get it. Like you got to look at the historical context of where the franchise is, what your franchise is. You know what I'm saying? And the historical context and the reality of the Atlanta Hawks franchise is that those guys have been to the conference finals twice in franchise history since moving to Atlanta. The first time was in 2015 with the 61 Hawks that didn't lose a game in the month of January. It was a once in a lifetime experience. It was the best group effort that the NBA has ever seen since the 2004 Detroit Pistons. So it was just a once in a 10-year thing that happens in the NBA. Kind of like maybe you could even argue maybe kind of the Cleveland Cavaliers. I know people like to compare the Cavs to the Hawks, but the Cavs had Donovan Mitchell and Donovan Mitchell and the other guy too, Darius Garland and Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. Like those are 4 like legitimate all-stars by themselves. I know with the Hawks, it was like Al Horford was an all-star, Paul Millsap was an all-star, but Jeff Teague and Kyle Korver, they were just kind of Jeff Teague was playing out his mind this season. Give him his props. But like those guys individually, they're kind of more like they got on for the team success, from the Hawks success. So, you have that once in a lifetime type of year in 2015. And then, here comes Trae Young and his exciting off kilter type of brand of basketball that brings him back. And that's the furthest that the team has ever gotten. And the first team didn't even win a game in the Eastern Conference Finals. Trae Young won 2 games in the Eastern Conference Finals, and it looked like they were going to win. So he's like I said, he is the biggest deal in the history of the Hawks. And once you take a step back and look at that historical standpoint of it, it's no longer just complaining about the day-to-day of who's playing defense and who's not, because Jalen Johnson's not playing defense either. And not nearly enough people are complaining about that as much as they're complaining about number 11. So it just is what it is, bro. But I appreciate Trae, bro. We got classics. And I'm going to spend these last couple minutes of this live just going through some of our classics, man. Because I want to see them myself. I'm not going to lie to you. Let me see. Let me see if I can find one. Hold on. Trae Young. Let me see. What the heck? Young was called a hero for saving the man. Trae Young, Rashad Milling is a journalist writer who has covered NBA news and covering Trae Young's engagement in an incident where Young was called a hero for saving a black man from a potential tragedy, with Milligan writing on these platforms like rolling out in his own platforms, linking the two sports commentary and cultural stories distinct from a criminal case and another person named Trae Young. What the heck is AI talking about? What is they talking about? Let me go to some of the classics, man. Let me go to some of the classics. Dwayne Wade. Let me see. This is gonna pop up. A reporter who has interviewed NBA stars Trae Young and Dwayne Wade, notably discussing a memorable jersey swap between Young and Wade in Atlanta, with videos surfacing on platforms like Facebook around 2018 or early 2019, showcasing the interactions between Milligan, Young, and Wade. That's fire, because that is what happened. Should I just pull this up? I'll just pull up the video, bro. I can't find. Oh, the story will be in the link of the video. Let's see what this is, bro. For the Hawks this season on both sides of the ball, with the Hawks performance as well as the Miami Heat. There was still a very, very interesting storyline that happened at the end of the game. Dwayne Wade and Trae Young exchanged jerseys at midcourt, and they took the photos together. Wade's jersey for Young was already prepared, already signed for him, and everything, the whole nine. He's been very supportive of Young in the past. My bad. Let me get this back. I was just trying to figure out how to do it. All right, there we go. As you can see in my past interview with him earlier this season.
One of my favorite players to watch as a young player, because you never know what he's going to do. You never know when he's going to do it, and it's exciting. But I definitely think it was a great choice by this organization to pick a player like that, especially with the generation that we're in, that Steph Curry and them has started. He's definitely, in that same breath of can potentially be one of those guys that, can be one of the all-time greats from the standpoint of the way he shoots the ball, the way he can pass the ball. So you just wait and see. And as far as Young goes, he said all season long that he's wanted to be one of the greatest players ever. That's always been his response. Hey, hold on. Let me take this man Jordan back. He done made me break character. Bruh. Hold on. Bruh, you done made me break character. I'm on stream right now. I was just doing immediate reaction. I'm probably gonna do a full stream later or whatever. But yeah, that Malik joked about that literally last episode, but now it's come to fruition, bro. It's time to update the intro, bro. That's Jordan, y'all. Jordan, he the one that he made the intro for Birds and Buckets, man. And he got to update the intro with all them Trae clips. Compared to one of his classmates, such as Luka Doncic or Colin Sexton, or if he was just being compared to Steph Curry.
Anytime I have the opportunity to compete or see someone who's a Hall of Famer or an all-time great, it's very humbling. It's very motivating to see the type of reception he got tonight. Everybody knows what D Wade has done for the game of basketball since he's been in the league, and everywhere he goes, he should be appreciated because he's done a lot for this game. From State Farm Arena and for SB Nation's Featuring Hoops, I'm Rashad Milligan.
Dang, what the heck, boy? Damn, we got classics. We got classics, B. We got classics, B. Let me just go on my page and see. We got classics, B. Man, we got, I'm trying to tell you, we got classics, twin. We got classics, man. Hold on. Let me go back to Trae. So people know what's going on. We got classics, B. I'm gonna miss my dog, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm gonna miss my dog. All right, here we go. We got classics, B. This is the first game back in Atlanta since takeoff transition. Just how's your first energy been this past week, since takeoff transitioned, and also just how did it feel to go out there and get a win tonight in Atlanta for him?
That's a crazy situation. Very sad. It's a crazy situation, and for me, all I'm trying to do is just, enjoy every moment. That I'm on the court and even off the court. And I think that's why I'm still fighting through pain and fighting through little knacks and injuries, because at the end of the day, what I'm going through is little. So, and it's not big in the grand scheme of things. And to be honest, I'm blessed to be able to play basketball at the highest level. And so anytime that I get a little injury, things like that, like stuff like what happened with Tate, for me is just so sad, and it really opens my eyes, and I hope it opens others. Other people's eyes too as well. Just how short this life can be, and how you can't take any moments for granted, because you never know when your last one will be. So it's just a sad situation.
We got classics, B. A bit of a couple different questions here. My first one, you're probably the most famous person from Norman, Oklahoma. Of course, a couple weeks ago, you kind of alluded to earlier, the Norman girls basketball team and what they were doing. I just wanted to know your thoughts on that, of what happened over there.
Yeah, that's just a really sad situation. Commentator, for him to, it really frustrates me now just thinking about it. Just knowing those girls, that the coaches, they coach my AAU teams on the girls' side. Some of those girls play on my AAU teams. So it definitely hit me a little bit different, a little bit more, maybe than some others, just because I have connections with them, and it really frustrates me, just knowing that someone like him had that job and had a voice, and to be able to speak into a microphone, and that's how you feel. It's sad, but it's this world, and we got to be better as people, as individuals, and I think that's really sad. And I'm proud of the Norman High girls that for what they're doing and what they did, and then go out there and get a championship 2 days later. Really rubbed it in his face.
And a follow-up to that, have you or your family members ever experienced any type of prejudice or racism, anything like that in the Norman area growing up?
From a distance, maybe in games. I remember a couple of times being on road games in high school. I think I got a couple of fans got ejected for saying certain things, and just something that I grew up and just knowing. I was taught a lot about it growing up, and so it's definitely something that happened to me a couple of times in high school. But yeah.
We got classics, B. My dog, Trae. Trae Young. Oh, my goodness, man. I miss my dog, man. I really miss my... Everybody sing with me one more time. I really miss my... Come on, y'all. The new season comes very new excitement around these Atlanta Hawks, and it can certainly be felt around the city. This was the night I asked Trae Young about the Ice Trae celebration. He debuted it that night, And he kept it going, bro, after this, bro.
Yeah, I love the atmosphere tonight. It was great to see all the support tonight and the fans coming out, and hopefully we can keep it going.
The looks of it, it seems like we're gathering a very good following. It's just up to us to put that to usage, and that also comes with wins.
I mean, yeah, everywhere we go, people are showing love and stuff like that, and it gives us more energy, more confidence to come in, do what we do. So for sure, I definitely feel it.
For these 17,000 plus fans tonight on opening night, they received these red t-shirts opening day. And the Hawks lived up to those exciting expectations. Jabari Parker, an all-new scoring option for this team on that side of the floor. John Collins and his exciting play. Even though he only had 9 points tonight, he had 2 alley-oops. Trae Young, what can you say about him? 39 points. And to end it, he was the first Hawk to receive MVP chance, legitimate MVP chance, not anything as a joke, but since probably Joe Johnson.
It was cool. It was that was pretty cool. I was mad I missed the free throw. I was mad, but it was good. It was good to hear. It was pretty cool.
And of course, the excitement in State Farm Arena around this team continues on Monday night as the Hawks host the Philadelphia 76ers from State Farm Arena. And for SB Nation's Peachtree Hoops, I'm Rashad Milligan.
Dang,
with the new season,
boy. That was my boy, man. I ain't gonna hold you. That was my guy, man. Shouts out to my brother Trae. Dang. I hate it had to be you, twin. Lost my boy to the business, man. Hey, it is what it is. Hold on. Let me see. I'm trying to see any other ones. Okay, should I go with this one? Let's go with this one.
To being a season of first and a season of jersey swaps, this is also a season of the stare down. You had the Trae Young stare down in Chicago, the infamous one, and then the Bradley Beal one in Washington following the night of. The latest stare down came from Kevin Huerter here in Atlanta when he dunked on Jimmy.
I was surprised he hustled the way he did. I thought it was about a breakaway layup, and I thought I got fouled on the play. So I was kind of looking back at him, just like jumping and looking at the ref a little bit, wondering why I didn't call it.
Some may call it a poster. Others may call it a viral moment. Others might call it a top 10 play. Some may even call it sneaky.
Everybody likes to say sneaky. Everybody loves to say sneaky. Yeah.
You think you've woken up the masses yet?
I don't think so, because every time I do something like that, it's still sneaky, and there's people are like, oh, I didn't know he had that, so it still might take a little while.
Of course, with so many firsts, you're going to have firsts throughout the year, first point, first dunk, et cetera, et cetera. Tonight, what's the first game winner for Trae Young?
Damn, bro, that's my mouth on, bro. That is
big shot, but a little guy. He has a it factor. He loves those moments. He loves taking those shots, and he always seems to come up pretty big. He's been in a lot of games where he's had opportunities, so it's exciting in that room, but really excited for the way our guys competed all night.
I think in the fourth quarter, and about in the middle of the fourth quarter, Trae tried to draw a charge. How encouraged were you just to see him giving that type of effort?
I think that's huge, and I think it's huge in the locker room more than anything. One of the things we try and talk about is just being in there, being a part of the fight. Boban comes in the game, and if you're small and you get switched on him, you got to do what you can. I don't think you're going to end up with the rebound. It doesn't mean you have to just concede to it. I think just being a part of the fight is very important in the locker room.
And of course, Trae hopes that there will be many, many more game winners to come as he progresses in his career. But let's admit it, there's really no time like the first time. From State Farm Arena and for Peachtree Hoops.
We got classics, B. Come on, man. My dog Trae, bro. Let me see. I want to see the one from ESPN. But I know ESPN gonna tag that, but I want to see it, man. It's my dog. I'm just looking at the old stuff, you know what I mean? Or my dog, you know what I mean? Come on, man. Who was outside then, bro? Who was outside? Y'all want outside then? We got classics, B. Shout out my boy Damon Mitchell.
Yeah, it was fun being able to play in the pro-ams this summer for my first time. I'll probably play in them next summer too. It's fun being able to go out in different communities, play in front of fans that don't necessarily get to, have the opportunity to go to NBA games. You get to see an NBA pro player, so it's great to see.
That was exciting.
Hey,
man.
shout out my boy as well. He just ran for city council over in Atlanta. Cascade, my dog.
That was exciting, man. My first time doing the ABL, my first and only summer basketball pickup game, whatever you want to call it, So for me, doing it in the city, doing it in the A was big time with Ice Trae. I was just happy we got to turn the city up, throwing me live, doing the best. So it was fun, man. I can't say anything else. We were both having fun, and that's where basketball is at its best.
Shout out to the voice of Atlanta basketball, Bria Janelle, and one.
Hey, Trae, you got that little mismatch of that time. Trae Young. Trae Young from the summer league. The program. Trae
John Collins. John Collins. Hey. Shout out to Bria. Folks had too much fun, man. Hey, let me tell you something. We have classics. Come on, man. We got classics, dog. Let me see what we got. Man. This is my first time seeing a lot of these, if you're wondering that why I'm so excited looking at them. This is my first time seeing these. I haven't seen these since I haven't seen these since dang. I can't even remember, bro, since I probably put them out. It was like 6 years ago. Some of these, you know what I'm saying? So many years ago and stuff like that, man. I'm trying to see which ones would be good. Just in preseason, that was about defense. HBCU night. Dang, let me see this one.
It was a sight that was never seen before inside of State Farm Arena. On the last Saturday of Black History Month, the Atlanta Hawks decided to honor historically Black colleges and universities, better known as HBCUs.
So it was important. I appreciate that the Hawks did this. I think it's a cool event, especially here in Atlanta. So I wanted to partake in a little bit of it.
I came all the way from Savannah, had a meeting this morning, got out of a meeting at 11 o'clock, hit the road, got here at about 4.
They was just celebrating. Shouts out to Keisha Kelly. She's in this Black college experience. She's in this one. That's where I met her. Was at the HBCU night for the Atlanta Hawks. You see, that was Trae's rookie year because Lloyd Pierce is the guy. But here hold on. We got
Ryan
classics.
Kind of pressed Trae for the past month about coming to this game. He finally showed up. How'd you feel about Trae finally showing up to your home game?
It's great to see, our own, guys here. Like, he plays in Atlanta, so I feel like he should come and support his home team squad. But it is just great for him to, actually, keep his word and come to a game. Hopefully he'll keep coming. He said he's gonna keep coming to the playoff games, when we get there. But I'm gonna keep pressing him about it. I'm gonna keep pressing everybody about it, just because I feel like I know what that exposure can do for us. Support women.
Shout out my boy Ice. Come on, man. Where you want to go? You want to go to community service? You want to go to summer highlights? You want to give in toys to the kids? You want? Wait, hold on. You want to? Come on. What we want to do with Trae Young, man? We got.
That was in Norman, Oklahoma.
Hold on.
Play in the Y in Oklahoma.
Do I have to walk out?
That was in Norman, Oklahoma. where I grew up.
Come on, man. Do we
place
want to do
that-
community stuff? Do we want to? We got class.
I feel like started my basketball journey, and I know it started, a lot of other people, but it definitely helped me.
What do you think it means for these kids to see one of the more popular players in the league, Trae Young, come out?
I don't think any of these kids left their house today and said, I'm going to hang with Trae. I think that was a great surprise. I think that we're very fortunate to have one of the most popular players. We were in Mexico City last week, and when the players were introduced, it was really nice, warm ovation, and then they introduced Trae. I thought the top was coming off the building, and that's what a superstar is, and we're very fortunate to have one in this city.
Shout out my brother Trae Young, man. Dang. Excuse me, bro. All right, let me see. Where we at? Are there any other ones that I want to look at? I know my favorite one is right after the Eastern Conference run. That's my favorite Trae Young one. But I don't have that footage. ESPN has that footage. And I don't even want to take that chance with ESPN. Hold on. Do I want to look at the Basketball City one to close it out? I might look at the Basketball City one to close it out. Oh, man. We had Kevin Durant joint. Oh, we got the open practice as a rookie. We got this. Let me see. Okay. I ain't gonna lie. We got some good stuff. The barbershop. I got Killer Mike talking about Trae when he first got there because they just opened a barbershop too. Dang. Really got classics. I ain't gonna lie. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna go to the one where it was the draft and I first was open to the Hawks getting Trae Young, bro. I'm gonna go to that one and just skim through it and stuff and look at it and think about how it was before Trae came to the Hawks versus I have his debut too. Okay, bet. Versus how I feel now. Because I forgot all this stuff, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. All right, YouTube. So before I start the video, I want to start off with the obvious that there will never, ever, forever be another Stephen Curry in the history of the league. The guy's a top 5 point guard of all time. I got freaking Miss Jackson here, bro. I got Miss Jackson in the thing, bro. How long will it take? What is this? The physicality of the NBA. How long is that going to take him to adjust? He's got to work on his shot selection. These are all the same things that we're hearing about Trae Young today. So when I hear that and I see that Trae Young has already bulked up a couple of pounds since the lottery. I ain't going to take that chance. Shout out to Outkast, but Outkast going to get me out of here, bro. The Dungeon family going to get me out of here for that one. I just want to see. Hold on. I got one on his debut. Hopefully I don't have no background music on that. But shoot. I ain't going to lie. Folks was right, folks. Thought Trae Young before the draft. Trae Young came to the Hawks. Trae Young did what he had to do, bro. Dang, I ain't gonna lie. That made me feel a little better, bro. Just going down memory lane, looking at some of these old. Wait. Hold on. What? Running your organization well, and that's something that every team just lacks now, and that's the reason why the NBA is in the position it's in. It's not because Kevin Durant decided to go to Golden State. It's simply due to poor management, poor drafting, poor coaching. And month we have playoff baseball. Memphis Grizzlies kicked off summer league action in Utah. I got music in all of this, bro. YouTube done change, obviously, as you guys can see. I had music in all of this because I guess it was acceptable back then. Let me see. Is there any Trae stories that I want to pull up? I have the story about them and versus the Grizzlies. That was fun. That was a fun story. But I want to see if there's anything else. I don't think there's anything else. All right, that might be it. That might be it, y'all. All right, well, that was memory lane talking about all the Trae stuff. Shouts out to my dog, the city. Oh, I talked about him and Alex Sarr right there. Trae Young knows what the Hawks are going to do. I don't think DeJounte Murray knows what the Hawks are going to do. I don't think Landry Fields knows what the Hawks are going to do. I say all this to say now you have a jumbled mess. You don't have space anymore. Like,
hold on,
but
let's see.
it's draft sorry. You keep the pick and you draft sorry. I think, like you say, say you draft sorry, you keep the pick and you draft sorry. All right. So now you have Trae Young and Alex Sarr on a pick and roll or pick and pop. That's his pick and roll partner. And he also has Jalen Johnson. So now he has.
So, hey, look, he got his pick and roll partner now. All right, bro. I'm about to close it out. I really want to see that Eastern Conference Finals one. Let me see. Trae Young, 2021 exit interview. Let me see if I can skip through there. Let me see who's got it. Dang, they got the videos him saying bye to all the fans. No, man. Oh, dog. Dang, I got the one where he was talking about I love the city. I just hate the traffic. Bruh. Goodness gracious, dude. What the heck, man? I remember all this stuff. Hold on. Where is this video at? Dude, is there a video? Exit interview 2021? Exit interview 2021. I'm trying to find it. This is hard. Going to the finals. End of the season availability. Okay. Shouts out to Jamila. Jamila got it. What year?
Good morning, Trae.
Oh, this was when they didn't make the bubble. That's a whole nother year. So what year was it? No, this July. This the 4th of July.
Thank you for joining us.
This 4th of July.
Let's go ahead and get started with
how we all got to approach it. We all got to continue to have high expectations on ourselves and our team.
About yourself.
They got photos. Am I in here? I'm in here somewhere, but this is only 8. Oh, okay. Is this me? All right, let me see what
the hunger and the fight that we have.
Thank you.
Rashad.
Hey, Trae. So taking it back, way far back, in 2013, you came to Atlanta for the Future 150 camp. Do you remember that camp at all? And, kind of like, how is that moment, going from those 8 years of the Future 150 camp when you were a kid all the way to leading the Atlanta Hawks to the best season in, franchise history since they moved to Atlanta?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's where I really became known. Like, that camp, Future 150 really put me on the map for real. And I became a 4-star player after that, and just really opened a lot of people's eyes. And for basically, my dad can even tell the story. That was a camp. A lot of the top recruits and top guys got to go for free, and my dad, I'll never forget my dad paying for it. And I told him it'd be worth it. And I went out there and got MVP of the whole camp. And that was when Dale Carter was there. There's a lot of really high level players there. And for me to start my basically basketball career and to really take off there, it's crazy how it comes full circle. And like I said, it's just the beginning, but it's crazy. It's crazy how it really comes full circle.
Final question.
Shout out. Babe, right. I wanted to see that one. Man. Well, so you guys, if you on this live, you got to see some of the classics, man. Some of my moments in coverage of Trae Young throughout the years, man. From a little kid coming out of Oklahoma, a young man, to a grown man and the father of 2 and everything like that. Best of luck to you, brother, in DC and Chocolate City. And man, let's turn the page. Let's keep the thing going. But you are Atlanta basketball legend. You know where home is. You know where you was drafted. Home will always be Atlanta for Trae Young, man. The city always going to have that respect for him, even if they don't right now because of, they kind of hurt or whatever, feel the way about it right now. But, in the end of the day, time heals all. And, in a few years, bro, everybody going to love you, bro. You should never have to pay for another meal in the city, bro, in the city, because I'm not in the city right now. But, yeah, man, shouts out to Dominique as well. And, yeah, that's all I got to say, man. Y'all take care of yourselves. My name is Rashad Milligan. This is the road to 10K subs. I ain't going to lie. I felt a lot better after looking at some of that old stuff, bro. Until next time, make sure you have a good morning, a good afternoon, a good evening, a good night. Nobody else told you today I care for you. Please subscribe, follow along on the channel because I've been live on this channel each and every single day for the past 308 days. Until next time, please take care of yourself.
Rashad, why you didn't
Anyways.
hit me up?
What's up, Rashad? Hey, Rashad.
What's up, Rashad?
Thank you, Rashad.
Brother, I love you, brother.
What's up, Rashad? What it do, boy?
Hey, Rashad.